Welcome to this episode of the CompTIA Tech Plus PrepCast by baremetalcyber.com. Let's begin. The CompTIA Tech Plus exam FC0-U71 is divided into 6 main domains, each with its own percentage weight toward your final score. Understanding these domain percentages is one of the most effective ways to make your study time more strategic. When you know which areas count for more, you can prioritize your effort accordingly. The domains that carry heavier weights will have a bigger influence on your results, so mastering them can make a significant difference in whether you pass or fail. In this episode, we will explore how the domain structure affects exam scoring and how to align your preparation for maximum impact. Domain 1 is IT concepts and terminology, which accounts for 13% of your score. It covers the building blocks of information technology, such as binary notation, common units of measure, and structured troubleshooting processes. This domain also sets the vocabulary and logical thinking skills you will need in later domains. Even though it carries a smaller weight than some others, performing well here will improve your ability to understand technical scenarios in the rest of the exam. Strong fundamentals create a foundation that supports every other topic you will study. Domain 2 is infrastructure, and at 24%, it is the most heavily weighted section of the exam. It includes objectives related to computing devices, hardware components, storage types, and networking basics. Because of both the size and complexity of this domain, mastery here is critical to passing the exam. You can expect to see multiple questions from across its various objectives, so a broad and deep understanding is required. Spending extra time on infrastructure topics is one of the most reliable ways to increase your total score. Domain 3 is applications and software, weighted at 18%. This domain assesses your ability to identify operating system components, use software tools effectively, and configure web browser features. It also includes objectives related to artificial intelligence, which may appear as conceptual or real-world scenario questions. You will need to be familiar with different interface types, system utilities, and productivity software. While this is not the largest domain, its mid-range weight means it is still an essential part of a balanced overall score. Domain 4 is software development concepts, which carries a 13% weight. It focuses on programming language categories, fundamental data types, and basic logic flow. For candidates without a programming background, this section may feel less familiar, but the exam tests it conceptually rather than requiring hands-on coding. You will need to understand elements like identifiers, arrays, and functions, and be able to visualize how code logic works. Developing comfort with these ideas will help when you face abstract or scenario-based questions in this domain. Domain 5 is data and database fundamentals, also weighted at 13%. It covers the value of data, database structures, and backup strategies. Key topics include relational database schemas, primary and foreign keys, and the concept of data persistence. You will also need to understand different backup methods and the options for ensuring data availability. While this domain may seem specialized, it plays an important role in overall IT literacy, particularly for support and business-oriented technology roles. Domain 6 is security, which makes up 19% of the exam and is second only to infrastructure in weight. This section includes the core principles of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, as well as encryption methods, password best practices, and wireless security configurations. It also covers security awareness topics like social engineering, common threats, and device hardening techniques. Security questions are often a mix of conceptual and scenario-based, requiring you to think through layered solutions rather than relying on memorization alone. Identifying your strengths and weaknesses early in your study process will save you time and improve your results. Using the domain percentages as a guide, you can start with practice questions that focus on one domain at a time to measure your baseline confidence. Once you know which domains are your strongest and weakest, you can allocate your time proportionally, spending more hours on weaker, high-weight areas while still maintaining your performance in others. Adjusting your study plan to match domain weight ensures you are preparing in proportion to the impact each domain has on your score. For example, since infrastructure and security together make up 43% of the exam, they should receive more review cycles. That does not mean ignoring smaller domains. Instead, it means keeping the focus balanced while still giving high-yield areas the attention they deserve. Domain overview episodes in this PrepCast are designed to help you keep this big-picture perspective. Using the PrepCast for domain tracking is simple if you organize your study log by episode number, title, and the domain it belongs to. As you review, mark each episode as completed, revisited, or mastered. Linking episodes to the corresponding glossary terms for that domain adds another layer of reinforcement, ensuring you understand the vocabulary used in exam questions. Practice question alignment by domain can help you spot gaps more quickly. Seek out practice sets that show you which domain each question belongs to, and use domain-weighted scoring reports to guide your review. Taking short, targeted quizzes for specific objectives will build your confidence, while full-length practice exams will test your ability to maintain performance across all domains under time pressure. Finally, remember that some exam questions are interconnected and may touch on more than one domain at once. A question about security could also require knowledge of storage types or networking concepts. This is why studying each domain in isolation is not enough. You also need cross-domain fluency. Understanding how concepts connect will help you interpret and answer complex questions more accurately. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other PrepCasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. One of the most effective ways to keep your preparation focused is to visualize your readiness for each domain. Creating a simple chart or spreadsheet with the 6 domains listed can give you a clear overview of your strengths and weaknesses. You can rate your confidence in each domain on a scale from 1 to 5 and update these ratings weekly as your study progresses. Over time, this will create a visual record of improvement and help you see whether your efforts are balanced. Comparing your early-stage ratings with those closer to exam day can also confirm whether your preparation plan is working as intended. It is important to guard against overconfidence in the domains you already know well. Many candidates spend too much time revisiting familiar content because it feels comfortable, but comfort does not always translate into high performance under exam conditions. While reinforcing strong areas is valuable, it should come after weaker areas have been addressed. The goal is to ensure that every domain is at a consistent and reliable level by the time you sit for the exam. Understanding the logic behind the exam's design can also help you make smarter study decisions. Each question is mapped to a specific sub-objective, and the number of questions for a domain reflects its percentage weight. This means that the exam structure mirrors the real-world importance of these knowledge areas. You will not see unnecessary repetition. Instead, each question is intended to measure a specific skill or understanding. Knowing this can help you appreciate why certain areas, like infrastructure and security, have more questions and therefore need more focused review. Using domain weights to triage your study time ensures that your preparation aligns with the exam's scoring system. Domains like infrastructure and security may deserve multiple review cycles simply because of their impact on your overall score. You can also use the number of PrepCast episodes in each domain as a rough indicator of its depth, which can help you assign more calendar time to high-impact areas. Smaller domains, while important, can be reviewed more quickly but still need enough attention to ensure accuracy and speed when answering related questions. Developing mastery at the objective level within each domain is one of the best ways to avoid being caught off guard by specific question wording. Instead of treating a domain as a broad topic, break it down into the bullet points listed in the official objectives document. As you go through each PrepCast episode, check off these objectives to confirm you have reviewed and understood them. This level of precision ensures that nothing is overlooked, and it improves your accuracy when you are faced with detailed or scenario-based questions. Your practice strategy should also be tied to domains. Taking domain-specific quizzes allows you to reinforce weaker areas without spending time on questions you already know. After each quiz, review any missed questions and return to the related PrepCast episodes to fill in the gaps. Tracking your performance trends by domain across multiple quiz sessions can help you see steady improvement and maintain focus on the right areas. Keeping your study materials aligned to the correct version of the objectives is critical. The CompTIA Tech Plus exam you are preparing for follows the FC0-U71 objectives. Using outdated resources or those intended for a different version can lead to confusion and wasted effort. The PrepCast you are listening to is fully aligned with the current version, so pairing it with other verified version-specific resources ensures consistency and accuracy in your preparation. Flashcards can also be grouped by domain for better retention. Reviewing glossary terms within the context of the domain they belong to makes it easier to recall them when you encounter related questions. Using spaced repetition tools for these domain-specific decks will improve both recall speed and long-term memory. Revisiting glossary episodes when you return to each domain helps reinforce the connection between the terminology and the exam objectives. As you get closer to test day, your review sessions should mirror the domain weight distribution. High-yield domains like infrastructure and security should get proportionally more time in your final review cycle. However, do not completely neglect these smaller domains. Quickly refreshing these areas ensures you keep the basics sharp. The key is balance, making sure you finish your preparation with a solid understanding across all 6 domains. Domain mapping matters because the exam is both comprehensive and randomized. To perform well, you need consistent preparation across every area, not just a few strong spots. Mapping your effort to the exam structure helps you maximize scoring efficiency by ensuring your time is spent where it has the most impact. When you understand both the content and the format, you can approach the test with a strategic mindset, confident that you are prepared for whatever combination of questions appears. In the next episode, we will focus on building a personal learning plan with clear checkpoints. You will learn how to pace your studies, set realistic goals, and integrate domain mapping into a calendar-based strategy. This approach will help you track progress over time and make adjustments as needed, ensuring you stay on course for exam success. Thanks for listening. Please visit baremetalcyber.com for more cybersecurity information and education, including a new children's series. For more information on books and more, follow us at cyberauthor.me.